Throughout the Middle Ages, Italy had been disjointed and was fragmented into small kingdoms, principalities, and duchies. Other European powers used Italy as a battleground to fight their own wars, and Italy would not unite until 1871, while France and England had been unified for well over 1,000 years. Italy's best chance for unification would have been in 1453, when Constantinople fell. The collapse of the Byzantines sent shockwaves throughout Europe, and Italy feared an Ottoman invasion. In 1454, the Treaty of Lodi was signed, ending the Wars of Lombardy, which was fought between Venice and Milan. A few months later, on August 30th, 1454, the Papal States, the Republic of Venice, the Duchy of Milan, the Republic of Florence, and the Kingdom of Naples signed another treaty in Venice. The treaty was a mutual defense agreement. It forbade separate alliances and treaties while they kept the established borders. This treaty lasted 40 years, during which Italy saw a period of peace and economic stability that enriched the entire peninsula. Following Lorenzo de' Medici's death in Florence in 1492, the League soon collapsed. Lorenzo had been its biggest proponent, as he saw the benefits of maintaining peace instead of fighting with his other rivals. With the League gone, King Charles VIII of France invaded Italy and kicked off the Italian Wars, which would last until 1559, during which thousands of innocent Italian men, women, and children were killed, and the Habsburg Spanish ended up with control over the entire peninsula. In order to rectify this, the Italian League will be slightly different, and Italy will follow a brighter path. In 1454, Venice defeated Milan in the Wars of Lombardy and reinstated Milan's Ambrosian Republic, eliminating the Sforza dukes from ever gaining control over the city. Cosimo de' Medici came up with a plan to use this to unify Italy. With Milan now a republic, all the major powers of northern Italy were republics, which would make them far easier to unify as no one house would lose power over a city. Cosimo used the fear of an Ottoman invasion to try and unify them. The Pope feared an Ottoman attack on Rome. Venice and Genoa were worried about their trade routes and that the Ottomans may take their Greek holdings. Florence was also worried about trade and how it would hurt their banks. Milan was relatively weak and could not really resist. With the combination of excellent oration, lots of bribes, and a looming Muslim attack, Cosimo was successful. The new Italian Republic was ratified on August 9, 1454 in Venice. The Papal States, Venice, Genoa, Florence, and Milan agreed to unify into a republic. There was initially some dispute over the capital of the new republic, as nobody would agree to host it in another city. The Pope argued for Rome, and each respective state argued for their own city. Eventually, though, Ravenna was agreed to. Ravenna had been the capital of the Western Roman Empire from 402 onwards, and was not firmly in anyone's control, so it held both a political neutrality and a historical significance. Naples agreed to sign a peace treaty with the new republic, but their king, Alfonso I, would not relinquish his power. They were now known as the Italian Republic, and it was modeled off the early Roman Republic. There were 600 senators from various wealthy and powerful Italian families that formed the backbone of the new government. They were split between various councils and bodies full of checks and balances, like the republics of Venice, Genoa, and Florence. At the head, there were two consuls, one of whom was elected by the Senate, and the other would be the Pope. This was the only way Cosimo was able to get the Pope to agree to join. The first two consuls were Pope Nicholas V and Marco Cornaro of Venice. In 1463, the Italian-Ottoman Wars broke out when the Ottomans attacked the Italian fortress of Corone in Greece. Pope Pius II, the new pope, quickly called for a new crusade, and the Knights Hospitallers, who held roads in the surrounding islands, submitted to the Pope and in turn the Italian Republic, becoming a vital part of their military. The new republic eagerly voted for war and allied with Albania, Hungary, Moldavia, the Byzantine resistance, and the Caravanids. On September 12, 1463, Cornaro, Albanian Lord Skandenberg, Moldavian King Stefan the Great, and the Hungarian King Matthias Corvinus signed the alliance in Ravenna. The Ninth Crusade was underway. On November 12, 1463, Italian Captain General of the Sea, Alvise Loredan, landed in Argolis and quickly set out to reconquer Argos from the Ottomans. The Italians captured Argos by the end of the month. Sensing the opportunity, Piero Raimundo Costa, the Grand Master of the Knights Hospitallers, attacked the Ottomans and conquered Milas. At the same time, Pope Pius II began gathering the Crusader army in Ancona, which was led by Lorenzo de' Medici, one of the most prominent young statesmen in Italy and the son of Cosimo de' Medici. Additionally, King Corvinus and Skanderberg began to invade Bosnia. They captured its capital, Yica, after a 3-month siege on December 16th. By February 1464, Skanderberg and Corvinus had reached Ras and besieged it. Sultan Mehmed II dispatched his Grand Vizier, Mahmud Pasha Angelovic, to Corinth to fight the Italians and reconquer the Peloponnese. Mahmud was crushed by the Italian navy at the Battle of Salamis. By June, Ras had fell to the Hungarians. Loredan then marched in and conquered Attica, retaking the Duchy of Athens. It had previously been a Venetian possession for hundreds of years. Italy then sent Segismundo Malatesta, one of their best generals, to reinforce Loredan and lead the land attack, while Loredan would continue the naval assault. In early 1465, Mehmed II sent a peace treaty to the Italian Senate, but it was swiftly rejected. Lorenzo moved into Bosnia to reinforce the Hungarians. In March, they moved east and captured all the lands up to Nikopol, while Stefan led the Moldavians to conquer most of Wallachia. The Knights Hospitallers enraged the Mamluks when they captured a convoy of their merchants. The Mamluks quickly imprisoned all Italians in their land until the convoys were returned and threatened to aid the Ottomans, so they were swiftly returned. Malatesta met and defeated an Ottoman force outside of Larissa in June. In July, the Karamanids attacked the Ottomans and conquered land up to the Black Sea. Seizing the opportunity, Alexander I of Georgia also attacked the Ottomans. Malatesta spent the next 2 years taking all of Epirus from the Ottomans. Mehmed II sent an army and pushed the Moldavans back across the Danube in 1466. Loredan defeated an Ottoman navy again at the Battle of Samos, and Italy won another important naval battle at Skyros under Orsato Giustiniani. In 1468, the Hungarian army united with Malatesta and had conquered most of Macedonia by 1469. The Hospitallers pushed further into Anatolia and reached the Dardanelles by July. This forced Mehmed to pull his army out of Romania to fight against the Hungaro-Italian army, so Stefan retook the land for Moldavia. The Ottomans pushed the Hungaro-Italian army back to Thessaly, which worried Pope Paul II. On October 19, 1469, the wedding between Queen Isabella I of Castile and King Ferdinand II of Aragon took place. Since they were second cousins, they received a papal dispensation to be wed, and Pope Paul granted it on 2 conditions. Italy bought Naples from Aragon for 250 million florins, about $50 billion today. Additionally, Spain sent 10,000 men to fight in the New Crusade. Italy agreed to aid them in future wars against the Moors and Navarre. Additionally, Lorenzo de' Medici, the heir apparent of Italy, was betrothed to Joanna of Aragon, the younger sister of Ferdinand. Seeing the success of his previous attack, Mehmed retook Euboea by March of 1470, but quickly had to abandon the assault as the Hospitallers and Moldovans had reached Constantinople. He defeated the Moldovans and pushed them back, but the Italo-Hungarian army reached Constantinople by the end of 1471. They put the city to siege in January, and the Greeks inside the city began to riot. The city fell by July. Mehmed had agreed to surrender if he and his family would live, but once captured, they were all treacherously slain. In September, Lorenzo and Joanna were wed in the Hagia Sophia, the first Christian wedding since the Ottomans conquered the city. The Crusader force spent the next 4 years ridding Anatolia of the remaining Ottoman forces. In 1475, the Treaty of Constantinople was signed. Spain picked up part of southern Anatolia. Albania gained land into Macedonia. Moldavia obtained parts of Wallachia and Romania. Hungary acquired Bulgaria, Serbia, Bosnia, and the rest of Wallachia. Italy procured the Peloponnese, Attica, Epirus, and lands in Anatolia. The Byzantine Empire was restored as the surviving members of the Paleologus family, and they recognized Italian claims as another Roman successor state. Andreas Paleologus was crowned the new Byzantine emperor on July 25, 1476, on the same day Constantine had been 1,170 years earlier. While this was going on, the Burgundian Wars took place from 1474 to 1477. Italy made an alliance with France during the wars, and the Franco-Italic-Swiss alliance crushed Burgundy and Savoy. Italy gained control over Savoy, while they recognized France's control over Provence. Louis XI ceded any claims on Naples with the Angevin line, while France gained land up to the Rhine. The Swiss Confederation joined as a French protectorate, which enraged the Holy Roman Empire. In 1479, Cornaro died, and Lorenzo de' Medici was elected the new consul of Italy. His children would also later be recognized as legitimate heirs to the Spanish throne, so there never would be a Habsburg Spain. In 1481, Naples was fully integrated into the Italian Republic. In 1483, the Holy League was formed between the Holy Roman Empire, England, and the Kalmar Union. In response to this, Pope Innocent VIII called for Italy's allies to come to Rome. Under Lorenzo's guidance, they created the Roman Confederation. It consisted of Italy, the Byzantines, Spain, France, Hungary, Albania, and Moldavia. They all produced a joint claim as a successor to Rome, so Europe now had three claimants to Rome: the Roman Confederation, the Holy Roman Empire, and Russia. The Confederation agreed on a mutual defense, and all had claims on some German lands. 1492 was an important year as the Americas were discovered, and Lorenzo would pass away. The Senate then elected Alberto Cattiano Lazzari, Genoese man, the new consul of Italy. In 1494, Italian troops landed in Iberia to aid the Spanish against Granada. Ferdinand had them force Navarre to become his protectorate in 1495, before utilizing them against the Moors. On July 17, 1498, Granada fell after an 8-month siege. Mohammed XII was imprisoned in Zaragoza alongside his family. The Reconquista had finally succeeded in removing the Muslims from Spain after more than 700 years of warfare. In the same year, the Portuguese sailed around the Cape of Good Hope and had circumnavigated Africa. In 1504, the Portuguese sank 17 Arab ships in the Indian harbor of Panani. Mamluk Sultan Qanash al-Ghuri sent an envoy to Pope Julius II. He warned the Pope to stop the Portuguese or he would destroy sacred Christian places and kill the Christians in his lands. Italy was not a Portuguese ally, but Julius refused to interfere with the Mamluk threats. He viewed the Portuguese attacks as a benefit for Christianity and publicly endorsed them. Byzantine Emperor Constantine XII wanted to use this war as an excuse to retake the Levant, which Italy agreed to. Julius spread the Mamluks' words throughout Europe and used them as an excuse to attack the Muslims in North Africa, as he wanted to conquer the fertile lands. The Portuguese-Mamluk Wars broke out in 1505 and saw Portuguese win a series of naval victories over the Mamluks in the Indian Ocean. In 1506, they would enter into the Roman Confederation with the Treaty of Cartagena. In the treaty, Spain, Portugal, Italy, and France agreed to split colonization amicably. Spain and Italy were quickly able to overpower the various North African Muslims. The Wattasids, the Zionids, and the Hafsids all fell by 1518. During this, the Portuguese navy had crippled the Mamluk economy and made them extremely weak, which led to the Caramanids invading the Levant in 1517. The Byzantines quickly sailed to the Holy Land to get ahead of the Caramanids and subdued most of Judea by 1519. The Pope now seized the opportunity and officially called for another crusade. Joint European forces arrived in Egypt by 1520 and vanquished the Mamluks within a year, just as the Ottomans had done in the real world. The Treaty of Alexandria was signed in 1521, where they divided the various lands between themselves. Spain received the western portions of North Africa, Italy acquired Egypt, while the Byzantines reclaimed Judea. In 1523, Hernán Cortés would sail into Mexico and begin his invasion of the Aztecs, and by 1524 he would conquer the entire landmass. As word of the immense riches spread throughout Europe, the French, Portuguese, and Italians quickly staked their claims on the New World. And that's where I'm going to end the video for you guys today. Please let me know how you think a united Italy would have changed history in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Click here to watch if Athens won the Peloponnesian War. Goodbye.